You're listening to the 64th episode of Downtime Podcast. I'm Alyssa. I'm back. I'm with Jeremy.
Hey.
Let's get this episode going.
You know that Beatles song? If you still need me, if you still feed me, when I'm 64.
You know, Beatles, all of their songs, I have heard them, and if you play it in front of me, I'll recognize them, but I, for the life of me, will never know what their actual song titles are. So they're one of those bands for me.
I get you, but I have no excuse because I am the same boat as you. There are a lot of songs that I forget the titles of, but I know what they sound like and I can sing them by heart. If someone else starts singing it, but I can never know the titles. And the reason why I know all that is because my mom is like the biggest Beatles fan ever, and so
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she has all the memorabilia and everything, and so she introduced my brother and I to that genre of music and them as a band. And we were able to sing all the songs before, and I kind of knew the songs' titles by heart, but I forget them easily.
Yeah, I'm sure if you heard it a few times, you'll go right back to remembering them.
Yeah, seriously.
I think my parents, my mom wasn't really, she didn't really listen to bands. She listened more to like instrumental stuff. Like her favorite genre is jazz. So she wasn't really into like rock bands. My dad's a huge Queens fan. Though. Queen, I mean. But we do have the Beatles albums as well. I just can't tell you what they are.
No worries. Is your dad excited for the new Queen movie?
I'm excited for the new Queen movie.
Oh.
But I think it's also because I've seen the first 3 seasons of Mr. Robot.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the actor who's going to be Freddie Mercury.
Rami Malek.
Yes.
Cool.
I like him. I was watching the trailer and he seemed to get a lot of the mannerisms pretty spot on. But he's really good in Mr. Robot. He's really good at playing like this super wired, druggy hacker. So, kind
of makes you wonder, what is he really like in real life? You'll never know, I guess, unless you actually meet him.
So in the series, he's constantly giving you a blank look. But then on his Instagram, he has all these pictures of him smiling, and he's with people.
He's like, "Hey guys, I'm a real person. I promise, I'm a real person."
Yes. So yeah, I mean, at least it shows he's a good actor. So
yeah, and it shows that he's also very happy outside of his acting career.
Yes, exactly. I think season 4 is coming out next month or this month. Sometime soon.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
And gaming stuff, Evo happened this weekend.
Oh my god. I know Evo happened this weekend. I didn't watch any of it.
I didn't watch any of it either.
I'm really upset because I always watch Evo.
Really?
And
yeah, well, I mean, Tekken's in there, right? So that's why.
Yeah, exactly. I always watch Evo. But this is the first time that I did not follow it. I know that they even had Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z on it. So that's different. I didn't realize how popular it was.
Yeah, right. It's a really, really popular fighting game right now, and it's like for new and old fans alike.
You'll get. Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say the animation art style are what really draw people into. But go ahead.
Yeah. It seems like they took a page out of BlazBlue a bit and refined it a little more, and I think, I'm very happy that it's popular because when I was following it for a bit, it looked really cool.
Actually, since you mentioned BlazBlue, it is developed by the same people as BlazBlue. Arc System
Oh my god,
Works.
there's more surprises!
I mean, it's not really a surprise, but yeah, it's developed by Arc System Works. That's why the animation and feel of it is exactly like, or not exactly, but very similar to BlazBlue.
All right. You know, this all makes sense.
You're like,
It's all coming together, Jeremy.
They took a page out of Blaze Blue. Well, I wonder. Yeah, it's I'm not a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and I've stated this before that I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but I really appreciate the work that went into that game because I have played a little bit of Blaze Blue in the past, and I really appreciate the animation style and the art style and the sprites. So that's why I really think that I give my vote as to Dragon Ball FighterZ being a really good fighting game and good game overall.
Definitely. I've heard that if you follow the storyline for Fighter Z, it's the most canon Dragon Ball game there is.
Oh, yeah.
Very, if not the most, pretty as canon as you could get.
Akira Toriyama, the writer of the manga series, is also involved in the game in some capacity. I think he helped develop one of the characters, like a completely new character. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That all these pieces are coming together.
Yeah. But going back to Evo, I think the only things that I like watching in Evo are Smash.
Oh yeah.
That's just for me personally. I think it's really exciting because Super Smash Brothers, I grew up playing that series, and so finally like seeing Melee in Evo was really cool when it got approved. I don't know how many years ago, but I think it's awesome that they still have Melee there.
Yeah, that is really cool. I didn't know that they had Melee. Then again, I don't follow those games when I watch Evo.
Yeah, no. I mean, everyone watches Evo for different games. You can't watch everything at once because there's so many different games happening at the same time. You're like, which one do I prioritize? Well, your favorites, obviously.
I've always wanted to attend Evo, especially because it's in Vegas. I think it was in Vegas this year.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't changed the location.
Yep, still in Vegas.
Yeah, I've always wanted to attend, just never got the chance. Maybe next year will be the year. We'll see.
Mark it on your calendar.
I do have a quick gaming news update. And you didn't talk about it with Casey or Gilbert. So, are you aware of the new next update from No Man's Sky?
Oh yeah, the multiplayer stuff, all that stuff.
No lie, I'm not gonna do it right now.
Okay.
but Christmas time, it's tempting me to buy the game in Christmas. Because back when No Man's Sky was, getting all the hype, I love procedurally generated games. And I was always interested in playing it. And then when the whole Sony debacle happened and Sony pressured Hello Games to have it come out sooner than later, that whole fiasco happened. But I'm interested in playing it because, one, I've heard really good reviews from Next, and two, I like that style of game, and three, it just goes to show how much the developers' motorcycle is passing by. Okay, so it goes to show how much Hello Games really cares about this game and how much they wanted this game to be perfect and on their terms. And after this game ended, they could have easily scrapped it.
Sure.
But they continued working on it. So I definitely appreciate that. It shows that they really cared about the game.
Yeah, that to me is really cool. I really like how they, after, it was like 2015 when it came out? So like 3 years later.
Yeah, 16. 16.
Oh, so 2 years later, they finally released what they promised, which is a little too late for a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's okay though. I mean, if they want to play Fortnite, that's fine. I will play this happily by myself.
I'm over Battle Royale games. I'm so tired of that crap. Like, please just stop. But
I have no problem with Battle Royale in like a party setting, if set where it makes sense, you're with a group of friends. I just playing it a lot, I don't understand.
No, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say, like, when I was playing PUBG Mobile with my cousins and my brother, we would play, like, at least 2 or 3 times a week, and that was honestly enough. Like, we were a dedicated squad, so we always knew what we were going to be doing because we would be, like, coordinating over Discord, but at the same time, we kind of knew each other's play style, and that, to me, is already fun, and the fact that we didn't play every day, every night, for a long time was even better for me because, I got other shit to do. I can't be playing games all the time.
Now the hype is a little bit too much.
Yeah, so I'm over it now. I mean, like, it was fun while it lasted, but I'm just like, yeah, I played PUBG Mobile. I played PUBG, whatever.
You were one of the firsts.
I guess.
I'm just trying to make you feel better.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. But I do want to play No Man's Sky. Like, this new update has piqued my interest, and I think that, myself, like, come Christmas time, just like you, I think I'll pick it up because it'll be cheaper. And by that time,
exactly.
By that time, I'm hoping they've added other stuff and fixed other bugs.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's the perfect time to buy a new old game, right?
I know. And December, I don't have much happening during that time, so why not?
Unless they announce another Yakuza game. Uh-oh.
Hey!
Which I'm okay with.
March 2019!
Let's go.
Let's go.
So what have you been playing recently? I know you've been traveling.
So I've been traveling, but I surprisingly have 3 games to talk to you about.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to start with Persona 3 first. I started playing Persona 3 FES, and I finished the first, what you would call the first dungeon, but it's not really the first dungeon, because what I learned playing Persona 3 is that instead of 7 different locations, it's all the same building. You're just going up the levels of this building. I feel like I would have been fine with this game if I played it before 5, and especially before playing 4 Golden. And now it almost, I haven't gone far enough in the storyline to assess what exactly is happening, but I'm a little underwhelmed because it's the same dungeon. The entire game, which is called Tartarus, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So as opposed, like, for example, like, just to give you an example, like, Persona 4 Golden, their one dungeon was like in a sauna, and another dungeon was like in a Valentine's themed, like, place.
Interesting.
Yes. This time around it's just like the same thing. And I hope I don't get bored the more I play with it. We'll see what happens.
I hope you don't get bored too.
Yeah, I obviously don't think I'm gonna get bored, especially with the story, but the gameplay is surprising me a bit.
Oh, that's
obviously this is the older game, so
right.
I expect this. What I like about Persona 3 is when you're with your party. I currently only have a party of 3. Including the main character, you can actually split up the team and they can go in different paths and they can find things separately without you having to be together. So, like, instead of like all of us going to find a treasure chest together or we're all battling, if you feel like your individual members are strong enough, you can split them up and it makes the game go faster.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so a lot of multitasking, which is nice. The storyline is interesting. So, I don't know, not much to say right now, but basically you're the protagonist, he kind of like joins a boarding school and he gets put in a certain dorm, and the dorm is not what you think it is. So,
okay.
Yeah. And surprises all around.
Okay.
But part of the storyline is everyone is kind of apathetic to everything. At nighttime, when it hits midnight, basically, if you have the persona power, then you are awake in your dreams. And like, if you don't have the persona power, then you're just sleeping. Yeah, but that's kind of as far as I can go without spoiling with Persona 3.
Okay.
Also, I'm a little upset because there's this character who joined your team. His name's Junpei. It's very cut and paste from every Persona. The main character will always have a bubbly guy friend. And every Persona I've played, there's Yosuke, there's Ryuji, and Junpei is the one for Persona 3.
Okay,
and
so he's your favorite?
I always liked the bubbly guy character. Instead of the brooding one.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing is that he has no social link, meaning that you can't, like, have a friendship with him. He's just there. Like, there's no storyline that builds off of him.
Oh.
And that's upsetting to me.
That's really sad, actually.
Yeah, because it's been like that for 4 and 5. I mean, like I said, I went backwards. But also, it's just, like, the point of Persona was you got to know your entire crew and build a friendship with them. And you got to know their backstory. So you can't even find out his backstory.
He's like, hey, I'm just a bubbly guy. That's it. That's
yes, exactly. So upsetting.
It's a waste of, like,
I know. Like, I can be friends with this guy instead of the guy on the track team or the swim team. So,
right?
But no, alas, I am not. It's okay though.
Oh well.
Oh well. That's it with Persona 3. Let's go back and forth this time.
Yeah.
So what game are you playing?
Jordan and I finished Serious Sam, the second encounter. So we moved on to 2, and then we had an issue with the level glitching, and then we kind of stopped playing that. But we want to finish 2 soon. So that's about it. So I mean, it's more of the same. Serious Sam game. You're fighting a bunch of enemies, more at a time, just all coming at you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing really new there. But then I have 2 other games I'm playing, but I want to go switch it back to you really quick.
All right. So as you know, I got Ni No Kuni 2 from Gamefly when I didn't want it. And I played it and I thought it was okay at first. I actually I'm done with the game.
Oh, wow.
And I know. To be completely honest, I've been pulling a few all-nighters to finish some games. Or not complete all-nighters. I'd sleep for like 4 hours. But
oh my god.
I know. Because I've been traveling a lot, there's a lot of games that I still want to play. So I didn't want to lose it. And so even if I ended work late, I would just continue playing because this is like one of my few de-stressors in life.
That's dedication right there.
Unfortunately, I don't like Ni No Kuni 2 that much. A little bit underwhelmed by the game. For one, I will say the game's very straightforward. I think it's a very easy game to play. Very simple. And I think, because I didn't like Ni No Kuni 2 as much, I wonder if maybe I just don't like the Ni No Kuni series anymore. Like, I wonder if I replayed Ni No Kuni 1, White Witch, if I would still like that game. Like, I was questioning a lot of things in my life.
Oh, okay.
after I finished that game, because I really didn't like Ni No Kuni 2 at all.
Sorry to hear that.
There was one redeeming factor of the game, and that was the kingdom builder. And Evan the king has to rebuild his kingdom, and you go to different worlds, and you meet people, and you do quests. You complete the quests, and they actually join your kingdom. And you can put them to do different things. Like, you can, like, if you have a farm, you can put someone on a farm, or you can put someone on, like, a equipment building thing, or you can put you basically, all your stores and whatever, you can put these people that you finish quests for.
Oh, cool.
And then you can, if you get super hardcore with it, you can get to level 4, which is the highest level you can get for the kingdom. I will say, though, I thought it was pretty easy to get to level 4. It was not difficult to get there. It was more tedious, but it wasn't hard.
I think that it's because of the general audience of the game is geared towards casual players. Would you say so?
Definitely.
It's not a bad thing.
No. The odd thing is I don't feel like Ni No Kuni 1 was targeted to casuals.
Oh, okay.
This one maybe was targeted more to casuals.
Like people who would just like play it for like 30 minutes to an hour and then put it down.
Yeah, especially with the kingdom builder aspect, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
Because you do quests for someone, they join your kingdom, you can level them up, and then you can, put your controller down. And go get dinner.
Right. Go get dinner. Okay.
Yeah. I also think potentially, not necessarily the casual fan, but beginner fans of beginner gamers. It was pretty easy. I defeated the final boss battle in less than 20 minutes. I don't even think it passed 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
The world itself was very cool. For example, you can go to different areas and they're themed. Like there's this city called Goldpaw and it's Asian themed and they're all dogs. And a lot of the decorations are really neat there. It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't my favorite game. I'm kind of disappointed actually in it, but that's okay. I don't know. It was just okay. Yeah. It was alright.
Okay, no worries. That's cool.
That's all I have to say about Ni No Kuni 2.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, a while ago I talked about Bigfoot, that video game on Steam.
Oh, yeah.
They finally received an update where it adds 4-player co-op multiplayer. You can find servers now. They upgraded Bigfoot's AI. They added a new map, and they're fixing the first one, so there's only one map right now. But Jordan and I were playing it the other day, and overall, it's really scary now. I mean, Bigfoot won't attack you until you shoot him first, or he goes into one of your traps. So he's like really passive towards you until you attack him, and then day and night he will hunt you. And he's relentless. He's really fast. He's really strong. And
they made Bigfoot even more difficult?
Yeah. And I don't like it because the more people you have in your party, the harder it is to kill him. So if you have... We noticed that when we had 2 people in our party, it was kind of easier to kill him. We would like shoot him several times and like a little bit of his health, like a big chunk, but not too big of a chunk of his health would start going down. We're like, okay, perfect. We can do this. And then... we created an open server where anyone can join, and we had this other guy join us, and there was the 3 of us, and we shot him so many times, and yet Bigfoot's health only went down a sliver. So that made us realize that we're gonna have to spend a lot more time playing this game than we anticipated.
Wow.
So matches end up being from like before in the I'll call it Bigfoot 1.0, the first iteration of the game. The matches were like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Now it seems like matches are going to be from 1 hour minimum to 2 hours at most.
Ooh, can you set the difficulty?
Nope, there's no difficulty. It's all the same difficulty. It's a survival horror game at its heart, so I understand the direction that they're going, but at the same time, I think a lot of newer players might be scared off to this, or a lot of people who played the first iteration of the game will kind of be turned off on it because it's different, and all the mechanics are different, and people do have a lot of criticisms and comments about the game so far. So the developers are listening, and luckily they're really responsive, and they provided a lot of hot fixes yesterday to fix some common issues with the game. So
okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we'll play it after. Jordan and I are going to play it after we finish recording this podcast, and I can give some more insight and thought to it later, the next time that we record the podcast.
Cool.
And I still recommend it to you, Alyssa, next time it goes on sale. It's a really fun game.
I probably could have bought it during that Steam sale, but I was slacking on that.
Yeah, that's okay. The winter sale will come up.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's kind of funny and ironic, too, that this new map is set in winter.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I love themed games, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think they're planning more maps in the future, but for now... they have like a camping grounds in Canada, which was part of the first iteration of the game, but they pulled it because they wanted to fix it and work on it. And then this new map is huge, and it's set, I think, in Alaska or something.
Oh, they should do a swamp.
Ooh, that would be cool. That'd be scary too. Oh man, he's constantly looking for you, and it's like, oh please, just leave me alone, Bigfoot.
That's really scary.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely survival horror. Like it's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it so far. I mean, you can't really say much. It's still an alpha, so the developers haven't fully released it yet, and it's still rough around the edges. They still have some work they have to put in before it's fully released.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say about that game.
Cool. I'm halfway done with Yes. Yes.
East?
Yes. I like it a lot more than Ni No Kuni 2. I think the two games have the same mechanic where you have to rebuild something of some sort. In Ni No Kuni 2, it's the kingdom, and in Ys, you're rebuilding a colony. Or you're you're building a colony of everyone who is shipwrecked.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of the same elements are there. I like it a lot more. I think that with Yes, the gameplay is much more engaging for me. It's definitely harder. There's eventually you'll reach this point where the creatures are like much more vicious and dinosaur looking.
Ooh.
And when you get to that, yeah, exactly. When you get there, things get a little bit harder and you have to be a little bit more strategic. There's a way you can exploit battles, and it's being patient, not attacking, and pressing the dodge button. Because what happens when you dodge or you guard is if you hit it at the right second that the boss hits you, it slows down time because it was a successful dodge and guard.
Ooh.
So if you do a flash guard, then you can just hack at the monster. And you just kind of, that's just the strategy that I've noticed works best for me, is I just kind of have to wait it out and continue dodging until I hit that. Also, this is one of the few games where it's an active battle system, so that's why this part is successful, but a lot of the skills that use up SP are really awesome. Like, I use more SP than I do the regular attack.
Oh,
and
okay.
And, you know, you don't want to waste your SP because that's very valuable, but it replenishes very easily. It's very forgiving about that in this game.
I see.
What I don't like about Yes is the dialogue.
Okay.
I don't know if this is really, like, the correct translated dialogue, or if the dub localization is just that fucking terrible. But it's really cheesy. It's really corny dialogue that's not and it's not even corny that it's funny and hilarious. It's off-putting. Like, and also it's one of those games where I feel like there's too much word. Like, they added too much descriptive words. Like, for example, every time, like, there's this one guy, like, this one bald guy who's, like, a royal, and he's just, like, every time he talks, he goes, well, I'm this royal guy from England, from the family of such and such and so, and I don't approve of this. And he says that phrase every single time he makes a statement.
That's annoying.
Almost. Yeah. And then there's some, okay, a lot of the dialogue is so cheesy that it's not natural. That's what is very off-putting about this.
Oh.
Like, for example, one time, one of the characters, he goes, what a blow mind. And I was like, what's a blow mind?
What kind of words are these?
Yes, exactly. They made up words for this game, it seems like.
I think they're just going crazy.
They were just like, what words can we make up in this game?
That's funny.
But aside from that, I like the gameplay and it's fun. I prefer it definitely over Ni No Kuni 2.
Okay.
Because the reason I compare the two is because they have very similar concepts. I think is better.
Okay.
Yes.
Is is much better.
Is better.
That's funny. I can't stop laughing every time you say it. You say it differently, and it just makes you laugh. Like, get it right. No, I'm just kidding. You can get it wrong. I don't care.
You're being a blow mind, Jeremy.
What does that even mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Is that an insult? Should I be insulted? I don't know.
I don't know. It might be a compliment. You never know, Jeremy.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
It might not even mean anything. To
True.
be honest, I don't know. I really don't know.
Gotta look it up. Gotta go to Urban Dictionary, see what's up,
Go to Urban Dictionary.
You're probably gonna find something a lot worse than,
like the worst possible definition of it.
Yeah. The last game on my list that I've been playing is Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. I've actually been pretty obsessed with this game recently. It's a first-person shooter and sequel to 2013's Rising Storm, which is itself a modification of Red Orchestra 2. Basically, it's a first-person shooter set in the Vietnam War, and you're playing in teams of 32, so it's 64-person battles, 32 versus 32. You can select different classes. Each class comes with their own unique weapons. The great thing about this game is that, which I like more than the previous iteration of it, is that in Rising Storm 1, every time you would upgrade, you'd get like better attachments and better weapons, and which would effectively make people who are a higher level harder to kill and for them to kill you faster. In this version of the game, in the sequel, you don't do that. You just get cosmetic items as upgrades, and the gameplay is not affected by that at all. So I think that's really fun that they made it balanced for everyone to enjoy. But overall, I think it's a great game still. So far, I like the fact that there's helicopters in this version of the game. It's because it's set in the Vietnam War, and the Vietnam War was definitely a helicopter war. It was kind of funny. I watched a Vietnam War documentary on Netflix recently by Ken Burns, and I was really, really like into the documentary. Like I watched one episode a day, and the whole documentary itself is 17 hours long, and so each documentary piece is around like an hour or so. But that kind of got me playing. I
started that documentary.
Oh, it's such a good documentary.
I started it at work, the first episode.
It'll get you hooked. It's so good. But yeah, no, I've been playing that. I'm like level 20. No, I'm level like 31 right now in the game, which is not very high. The highest level is like 99. But yeah, so I've been playing that. And overall, I love it so far. It's really good. It's really hard. Like, I will say that you can die very easily. Getting shot does net you trying to put a bandage on in the middle of a battle, in the middle of a firefight. If you shoot someone through the wall, you can kill them. Just FYI, if you're ever someone playing this game.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is some sense of realism to it. But
yeah, I was about to say, that's probably more realistic.
Yeah, I mean, like, someone's hiding behind like a little bamboo structure, you can kill them. It's not like Call of Duty where if you shoot like a straw wall, you're not going to be able to kill them. No, like you can't hide. Like even behind some like brick walls, you could still die from gunfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, the game is really fun. There are some really funny people, like other players that are playing will like scream some really racist things that I don't think should be ever said outside of that game.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You've reached that crowd of the internet.
Yeah. Like people doing it's mostly I gather white people doing Asian accents, screaming racial slurs, derogatory words, and I'm like,
ooh.
Oh boy, good thing I didn't grow up in that era. Good thing I'm not that ethnicity. It doesn't really affect me, but I'm like, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah. Well,
particularly
hopefully
oh, go ahead.
Oh, hopefully you don't have to encounter them as much.
I mean, there's one every game.
Yeah. Okay.
It's mostly centered towards the G word. Do you know what I mean? You know the.
Oh, really?
Because as you will find out during the documentary, Alyssa, if you finish watching it, that word was thrown around a lot during that time period, during the Vietnam War, because it was a holdover from the Korean War.
Yes.
So they use that word a lot in the game, and I'm just like, okay, I understand why you're using it because it's historically significant, But at the same time, I'm like, is this really necessary? It's just a video game.
I know.
But most people that do the Asian accent, they always end up sounding like the Chinese guy from South Park.
Oh, Mr. Shitty Walk.
Yeah, that guy, the Shitty Walk guy.
Yeah.
But they end up sounding like him. They're like, go home, GI, go home, GI. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Oh.
Like, please,
Oh my
please
God.
stop. Please stop using that accent. It's really bad. Aside from the community, the game itself is really fun. The gameplay itself is really great. I really like the use of strategy. There's more than one way to win. Like, there's more than one way to win strategically, but I think the best way is communicating. Having voice chat is really good. There's a role called the commander on both teams, and every match has a commander on both teams, and the commander's job is to lay down like artillery fire, to lay down napalm, to lay down airstrikes, to guide people like, hey guys, make sure you stay out of this point, like we're about to bomb it, because not everyone checks the map all the time. So yeah, the commander's role is more essentially to lead everyone on their team, and if you don't have a good commander, you're not going to win. It doesn't matter what map it is. It doesn't matter if one map is catered towards one side. It's more like if you have a good commander, you're going to win.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense too. Oftentimes with war games, it's just more like you yourself as an individual, but it's a lot more accurate if you add in the leadership too. Yeah,
definitely. I would say that this game is definitely geared towards a team-centric aspect of it. It's definitely a war game that requires you to work as a team. But I have been in matches before where the commander didn't do a very good job. Like, he wasn't a very good commander, and he put the artillery down in the wrong place. But we still won, and it was the power of the people that helped us win. Like, there were some really good people on our team that would get those headshots, get those shots in, and find out where those people are. So it was good overall.
I know, the power of teamwork.
Definitely. But yeah, that's my experience so far with Rising Storm 2. That's all I have to say about it.
I saw, actually, a few weeks ago, I saw a promo for it. But I didn't know that you were playing it.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean...
is it getting, like, did it come out recently, or is it getting, like...
So it came out last year, but they update it constantly, and they always have, like, these free weekends, these, like, double XP weekends. Okay. They have DLC, like, free DLC content updates, which come out every so often, which is awesome.
Okay.
Because who doesn't love free DLC?
Exactly.
But yeah, no, so far it's been really quality work, and the developers of the game Tripwire are actually the same developers as Killing Floor.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. So they developed Killing Floor, they developed Raid Orchestra, and they developed Rising Storm. So they're really known for their shooters, and they're really, really good at having a flat price and having all the DLC for free.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of akin to CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I recommend Rising Storm 2 to anyone that's listening. If you are into shooters, definitely play this game. It's a hard shooter. Again, I have to emphasize that this game, you will die a lot and you will die easily. So if you're not really a fan of that, make sure that you check that before you play the game. But let me know if you play the game. We'll play together, whoever's listening.
Not really a game, but the last update I have is my GameFly, my regularly scheduled GameFly update. So after Ni No Kuni 2, I returned the game, and I'm gonna explain to you my queue at that point. Detroit was number 1, God of War was number 2. The Spider-Man game, which has not even come out yet, was number 3.
Wow.
And Monster Hunter World was number 4.
Okay.
And at that time, when I returned it, I saw that Detroit and God of War had availability now.
Mm-hmm.
Guess which game I got?
God of War.
Nope.
You got Detroit.
Nope.
Oh, what the hell? You got Monster Hunter World.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I gotta go through all of them.
God, you have to go through all of them. The plot twist in all of this would be I actually got the Spider-Man game first. Then I would be both very pleasantly surprised and also what the fuck. So...
I'll be like, yo, let me cop that real quick though.
I know, right? I know. But yeah, I have Monster Hunter World. I am super excited to play it. I'm probably going to play it for only like 2-3 weeks since it's not much of a storyline. It's more, you know, as we all know, it's more of just like a team battle, and then you boost up your person.
Mm-hmm.
But still, come on, Gamefly.
Like the two biggest single player games that are out right now for PS4 are really on hold. I understand why it's not on your. I understand why they're not sending it to you, but I don't understand.
It was available now.
I don't understand why they're not sending it to you.
It had available now. That's why I'm upset.
I
would have not. So, long story short, I bought Detroit because I was so mad.
Alyssa. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, you're so frustrated. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking buy the game instead.
Yes. So I have Detroit now. Yay!
Nice.
To be talked about next week.
TBA, everyone. You'll hear more about Detroit and not God of War next week.
And not God of War next week.
That'd be really funny if they sent you Detroit. And would you be so mad at Gamefly at that point?
After I bought Detroit, I deleted it off my queue. But if they actually sent me Detroit and it was off my queue, oh boy.
That's
like,
funny.
I know. So I have the game now. I'm really excited. I'm actually I'm gonna have a random like comp day this week. So I'm gonna sleep in and play video games. So I'm really excited. So I'll actually have something substantial to talk about too.
Nice.
Detroit, like one playthrough is 8 hours. So ideally I would like to have gone through 2 playthroughs before the next time we talk. And then Monster Hunter World is just like, I'll tell you all the deets and all them battles. Yeah, boy.
Are you gonna play with Kevin?
It? Yeah, most likely.
Okay, good. I mean, it's always good to have a buddy when you're playing those kind of games.
Yeah. He was. I was talking to him about it. So Monster Hunter World. A lot of the game. It will also get harder if you're in teams. So it's like, if you actually want to complete the game, it's the struggle of both multiplayer and single player. So they both eventually get evenly hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then you just kind of have to do things yourself, and then yeah. Although Monster Hunter World's still very popular, and I've heard, like, not just from Kevin, but a lot of people how many hours they put into that game. And I'm like, damn. It also helped that Monster Hunter World was like the only game that kind of came out in January for a while.
I see.
So, like, that there was a lot to do with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And yeah, that ends my weekly update with Gamefly.
Awesome. Thanks for the update, Lisa. On my end, I don't really have any updates at all. I'm done. I'm done.
Yay! Done. All right. So I did see that we have one question, and this question is from Divine Eater Oren from the Discord. So this question goes, will Red Dead Redemption 2 be more successful than GTA 5? Do you think it will get as much DLC and after support?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
There's only so much you could do with that time period. And I understand that Rockstar's really good at kind of doing things their own way, also trying to make it historically accurate. With the previous Red Dead Redemption, from what I understand, because I've never played it, but I've seen a lot of people play it. I've seen a lot of gameplay videos. The previous Red Dead Redemption was definitely based around its time period. The only thing that was out of place would probably be the DLC, the zombie DLC, which kind of felt out of place. And then,
it was out of place on purpose, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But they did it well. And my point is that I think Red Dead Redemption 2 does have the potential to be better than GTA 5, but I don't know if it will be on par as the same. Like, what can you do outside of having like cooler guns and, like, I don't know, like souping up your horse? Because GTA 5 is definitely all about the cars, the guns, the teamwork,
the helicopters,
like the vehicles. Like Grand Theft Auto has always been about vehicles. Otherwise, why would you even call it Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah.
So I think it will get as much DLC and support after, but that really depends on if those little 8-year-olds spend their daddy's credit card to buy those shark cards and buy, because GTA 5's online success was based around the fact that everyone downloaded the shark cards. Everyone bought those $200 shark cards to get like $8 million in game to buy more cars. So I don't know what Red Dead Redemption 2 will have as far as like in-game, what you can buy with in-game currency, multiplayer wise. DLC after Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know about single player, but definitely for multiplayer, they'll be adding stuff to it. Maybe like a Civil War weapon update or something. I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool.
Isn't it set in the 1880s? It's before Red Dead Redemption, right?
Yeah.
So it's like post Civil War.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to be adding.
I pretty much agree with you on all those points, especially because since Grand Theft Auto 5 took place in modern times, that it's just really easy to add more ridiculous shit. That even though it's ridiculous, it's like, oh, but we're in modern times with all this technology, like, jetpacks and all these random things.
Right.
So, you are restricted to the timepiece. So I definitely agree on that.
Yeah, you're not going to see airplanes, helicopters, motorcycles, and sports cars in Red Dead Redemption 2. So my biggest question, and not really worry, would be what are they going to be able to implement for that time period that'll keep players coming back? Because everyone in GTA 5 Online, you had apartments, you could buy mansions, you could buy stuff like garages to keep your cars. It's all based around vehicles again. So
yeah,
what are they going to base Red Dead Redemption 2's economy on? I don't know.
I also want to talk a little bit about the storylines between Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. So the RDR series definitely is a much more full-fledged storyline, and it's done in such a way where after you finished the first game, you were satisfied if you never played that game ever again. It's because of the way it's wrapped up. The difference, though, with Grand Theft Auto is it's wrapped up in such a way where it's open to you wreaking havoc afterwards as well. And it's just the nature of the series in itself. RDR is much more serious than GTA.
Right. And in the first RDR, you could go around, you can kill horses, you can kill people, you can do all that stuff, but it felt more akin to a Skyrim in a sense.
Yeah.
And Grand Theft Auto is its own beast. Like, literally, you can run around in Grand Theft Auto, kill people, get 5 stars, run away. But,
yeah,
people think that Red Dead Redemption is Grand Theft Auto, but, like, in the cowboy era. But it is and it isn't. I would say more so it isn't, because it's its own
very
beast.
Different. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
People that transition over between both games will find things that they don't like. Because, like, a lot of people that play GTA 5 probably won't like Red Dead Redemption 2, simply based on the fact that it's the era. Like, not everyone wants to play a game in the cowboy era.
Yes, that's very true.
So, yeah, it's a very, I wouldn't say it's a niche market. It's more of a, if you play the first one or are interested in the series overall, then you would want to get into this one because the game does look beautiful.
Definitely. I mean, it's Rockstar's baby for PS4.
Yeah.
They haven't had anything else come out on PS4.
Because they've been raking in that money, that shark card money.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I hope that answers your question, Divine or Aaron. And thank you again for submitting your question. And for those that do want to submit questions, make sure you go to our website, Downtime.Live, click on the contact option, and fill out that information. Or you can join our Discord. Let us know If you have any questions, join in the conversation. We're always talking about games 24/7, so come through.
Yes. If you listen to this podcast through Apple, sign on in and leave us a review so that when you go to the Apple store and you look at podcasts, then your review and your ratings right there, and it will bump our podcast to be more noticed.
Yeah, and again, you can also find us, aside from iTunes, you can also find us on YouTube and Podbean. We actually stopped using SoundCloud. This is kind of an announcement too. We stopped using SoundCloud. It's more of an archive channel, so please, if you go to SoundCloud, that's not where we're going to be updating our new episodes to. It's all going to be everywhere else but SoundCloud.
Yes. We just had to update the RSS feed to support more podcasts. So SoundCloud's much more akin to music.
Yep, we will miss SoundCloud, but Podbean and YouTube are our friends now.
Yes. And that's it. Stay tuned after this episode. And episode 65, we have a special podcast for people who also listen to our favorite show.
Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you again for listening to the 64th episode of Downtime Podcast with Jeremy and Alyssa. Alyssa, thanks again.
Yes.
Glad to have you back.
Yes, I'm glad to be back too.
Yep. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Peace.